Happy New Year, everyone! We are starting the year off with a bang. I am standing inside of a gorgeous condo and I cannot wait to show you. Not only does this place have spectacular views of the city, but we renovated it top to bottom. It was an empty concrete shell when we got our hands on it, and we designed it into something that's rustic, casual, classy, very cozy and inviting. Come on, I can't wait to show you around. Welcome back to my channel, guys. Thanks for checking out today's video. We started with an empty concrete shell and a set of blueprints, and then we turned it into this. This home has a lot of custom finishes. Because we started with literally a blank slate, it was a wonderful experience to get to talk to the homeowners and find out what did they really like, what are they drawn to, what styles really resonate with them, and then pull all of those bits and pieces together in order to create something that was custom and that really feels unique to them. When you first walk into this space, you are greeted with a really spacious entryway. And this was the first opportunity we got to use one of the finishing touches that the homeowners were really drawn to. And that is this barn board wall. We went to some old barns and some stores that were reclaiming old wood, and we found these incredible pieces and got to piece them together to form this custom wall. This was a great way to bring in some grays and a little bit more of a modern color palette while still sticking to the true warm tones that we wanted to carry throughout this whole space. Not only is there this really amazing feature wall, but we used steel angle as trim on either side of the wall. Again, this allowed us to bring in a texture that the homeowners were really drawn to, and again, we're going to carry that same feeling all throughout this space. One of the things you'll hear me say over and over again is that the home should really reflect the homeowner. So that comes into when we select the finishes and the actual things we're constructing the homes with, but also in the little details, the finishing touches that we bring in to decorate the space. In this particular home, the homeowners both have a love for cycling, and so we found this really unique print of these old-fashioned bicycles, and it's the perfect way to be greeted when you come into this home, because right off the hop you're getting to know a little bit about the people whose home you're entering. You guys, check out these views. I mean, they are spectacular. On a really clear day, we can see all the way over to Toronto. Actually, if you look closely, I can see Toronto over in the distance today. It's so stunning, and so we wanted to make sure that the furniture we put in here really showcased the view more than anything else. So we placed the furniture, obviously the longest sofa we chose to put along the longest wall, and it's facing out to take in this lovely view. And then we chose a smaller love seat, and we made a kind of the sectional feel out of it. This helps us to close off the long rectangle shape of the room. It also creates more of a conversational space, breaks up the flow a little bit, and it feels really wonderful. So these homeowners love to have people over, and it was really important to them that the furniture was comfortable and oversized and something that people just want to sink back in and relax. And so that really directed the types of furniture that we looked at for this space. Big, oversized, cozy, welcoming. You guys, you should sit on this furniture. In addition, we found these amazing low-profile chairs. These chairs can quickly swivel around to be facing the conversation area, or like the homeowners choose to leave them, facing the window so they can sit here with their morning cup of coffee and enjoy this awesome view. Really intentional when this space was choosing low-profile furniture for any pieces that were not snug to the wall. This allows there to be an unobstructed view, and really, that's what we wanted to capitalize on in this amazing space. One of the things you'll notice is there is a structural column right near the window in this living space. So we opted to encase it in this old wood, again stained really dark to a nice warm brown color. And again, we finished this off with steel angle, mimicking the same finishings we use on the barn board wall in the foyer. So one of the challenges that I faced with this space was all of the angled walls. There are these smaller angled walls all throughout this space. And as we got into the construction of this home, the homeowners were actually out of town for a few months. And so I would come in and I would check in on the progress of things. I'm a stickler for like symmetry. I want things to be symmetrical. And I noticed on one of our walkthroughs one day that the angles for these little walls were actually not symmetrical with one another. It was really bizarre. So I talked to our contractor, he pulled out the blueprints, and that's how they had been drawn. They had been drawn to be like askew. Oh, anyways, he was amazing. And so he was right away like, I'm hearing what you're saying. We got to fix this before we go any further. And so they did. They straightened out the angle so that every angle in this home mimics the angle that's across from it. Those are the kind of details that would drive me nuts if I lived in a space like this. Let me just take a moment and talk about our incredible contractor. I have such an awesome father-in-law, and he is one of the best contractors around. He owns Les Anderson Construction, Inc., and he and his team always do such an incredible job. One of the things that you really don't want to skimp on when you're preparing to do a home renovation, whether you're building from scratch like this or doing an addition or renovation in your current home, is you don't want to skimp on a contractor. You guys, these guys make or break the whole project. And finding an excellent contractor who is skilled, has lots of experience, and who is a contractor who functions with integrity is of the utmost importance. So find one in your area. If you are in the Greater Toronto Hamilton area, check out Les Anderson Construction. You can check out his website, lesanderson.ca, and see a glimpse at his portfolio. He is incredible. Such a good contractor. And so of course I love when I work with him because he's the best. And he's my father-in-law, so you know, it just works really well. So another feature that the homeowners wanted to bring into their space was exposed brick. They love the idea of exposed brick on an interior of a home, but we were building from scratch. So it's not like there was these old brick walls that we could just kind of find hidden behind the drywall. So we made our own. So we called in a bricklayer and we picked this really lovely, timeless, classic, really light red brick that has a little bit of burgundies, a little bit of browns, a little bit of pinks thrown in it. And we finished off the fireplace wall with brick. Now, I gotta tell you, another reason why you need a good contractor is there are so many rules around fireplaces. I had this whole drawing of what I wanted to see done on this fireplace wall, and with all of the rules and regulations about how high above a fireplace a beam can be and how many inches it can stick out from the wall based on how high it is from the fireplace, I mean, we would not have been able to get the big beam I wanted to put on this fireplace. So then we got creative. So the homeowner and I sat down and we started sketching things out, and he actually came up with this idea of putting this old piece of wood at the bottom where the TV is going to go and then mimicking it above. The homeowner really loved the idea of bringing wood over to where the brick is and mixing those two elements together. Of course, we created this alcove for the TV to sit in so that it's not some big obstructing yucky thing for people to stare at. So we couldn't necessarily get the final look that we wanted on here because of all of the regulations to do with fireplaces, but I think the finished product still ended up looking really great and being really functional. If you like this video, would you consider subscribing to my channel? And when you do, turn on notifications so that you can be notified every time a new video is posted. So when it came to the dining area in this condo, we wanted to get a table that would be really practical for everyday use, but something that would also extend to bring in the whole extended family for special dinners. So we found this wonderful pedestal table. It kind of has a little bit of a dinged up look to it, and yet it's got a bit of a grayish undertone. It allows us to combine styles so nicely. Then we found these low profile camel color leather chairs, and it just looks so great. Again, keeping an unobstructed view of the city. In a handful of different spots in this home, there's these insets in the ceiling, and so we really wanted to play off of those. So we brought in some extra medallions and trim features that allow our eye to be drawn upwards so that we could see the really lovely detail in these spaces in their home. There are so many incredible features in this kitchen. First of all, we wanted something that was light and airy, so we went with white cupboards, uppers and lowers, and a really light granite. We searched high and low. I cannot tell you how many granite stores we went to in order to find this exact piece of granite. We had to go all over the GTA, the Greater Toronto area, in order to find all of the slabs of granite we needed. But you guys, it pulls this space together so wonderfully. It's warm, it's got this beautiful warm undertone, tone, and yet it feels a little bit elevated and luxurious, like a marble would feel. It's really uncommon to find a granite that looks like this, and it really does contribute to making this kitchen such a showstopper. The homeowners really wanted to stick with classic subway tile for their space, so they opted for one that was a little bit rippled and wavy, and the way that the light bounces off the backsplash really adds to the brightness of this entire space. Now, just because they wanted it to be bright and light doesn't mean we didn't want to add in some of the same wood and steel features that we had seen all throughout the home so far. So we added in some open shelving. As you know, I'm a huge fan of open shelving in a kitchen. In this case, open shelving really creates a casual, warm atmosphere in an otherwise really polished, elevated kitchen. And to continue to play off of the steel that we've been using throughout the home, we decided to use really heavy iron hardware on all of the kitchen cupboards, and it's just such a great addition to this white, bright, beautiful space. I won't bore you with all the details, but we had to do some rejigging of the layout of this kitchen because the homeowners actually didn't want to follow the blueprints, and they didn't need a dining room. The blueprints had called for a dining room, so we had to kind of like move some walls and adjust the way that the kitchen flows. But the finished result is absolutely gorgeous. The way this kitchen flows from the dining area over into the back hallway is so lovely. There's these beautiful double ovens, there's built-in microwave, and one of my favorite things, I highly recommend if you can do this in your kitchen, there is a small appliance cupboard. It's essentially just resting right on top of the granite countertops, but there's electricity back there, so you can use your toaster and your blender and all your small appliances really easily, but they can still be concealed behind closed doors when they're not in use. So when planning out your space, give some consideration to the things that you really love, the things you go to, the things that you spend a lot of your time doing, and then maybe put a little bit of thought into making those areas of your life extra convenient. In this specific case, they wanted to have a coffee bar. They love their coffees and their teas and their hot beverages. So we made sure that some of the open shelving in their kitchen went directly to creating a space for all of their coffee and tea needs. And then the drawers directly underneath the space house all of their mugs and everything that they're going to need to prepare the perfect hot beverage. There are so many incredible features in this amazing kitchen. Next week, I'm going to post a video that is just focusing on all of the details that make this kitchen so spectacular. Come on back next week and check it out. Another amazing part of this condo is the master bath. This ensuite is bright, it's spacious, it's beautiful. We chose a flooring that looks like hardwood, but it's actually tile, and we intentionally went with something that was really light. This is the only area of the entire condo that does not have the dark hardwood floors, and it is a beautiful contrast. However, these tiles feel rustic. They feel a little bit old and weathered, and that kind of juxtaposed with the beautiful crystal in the light fixtures and the chrome finishes. It's just a lovely way of combining these two styles. We've used the same countertop as we used in the kitchen, and it's just a beautiful space to get ready in the morning. There's a bright open shower, and there's, of course, my favorite, a standalone tub. And we just put this really beautiful, dainty chandelier above it. It's nestled in this little corner where they happen to have a couple of windows, and it's just such a beautiful spot. There's a full video coming up on ways you can make your bathroom feel bright and spacious. You can look forward to that coming up in just a couple of weeks. Okay guys, quick question for you. What is your favorite part of this condo? Comment below. I want to hear which area of the home wins.